At 6:36 on a Friday, heading into the home stretch, and I came across, actually got an email and saw this story and thought we have to do this because this is such a wonderful thing and can help so many people. Catherine Contos is in studio with me today. So, Catherine, let me sort of kind of frame this a little bit by explaining, first of all, you were here as a breast cancer survivor.
That's right.
And I read your story as you emailed it to me, and not for me to say, but you had a particularly difficult time. We were talking just off air about how, had you not been lucky enough, if you will, to go for an ultrasound after having had a mammogram, who knows where you'd be today. So talk about your own battle just quickly, and then we'll get to why you're here.
Okay, real quickly, I found a lump in my breast. The next day I had an appointment at a private clinic. I did a mammogram that showed nothing, no tumor, and then I did an ultrasound, and that's where they saw something there. They did a biopsy, told me it's just an anomaly in my cells, to do an operation to remove it just so it doesn't become cancer. Few weeks forward, I find out that I do have cancer after the pathology came back, and I was at stage 3. So there was a few mistakes along the way. And the truth is, if I hadn't done the ultrasound, if my doctor had done protocol where, just to see what's happening with the mammogram, she wouldn't have found anything, and I would have never been diagnosed, and, well, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. And you were saying as well, the protocol that you're describing now is you go, you get a mammogram done. If there's nothing there, you can't just ask, your GP can't suggest you go for an ultrasound? How does it work?
The government is pushing for you to just for the doctors just to do the mammogram, and if they find something, to do an ultrasound. Some doctors go with the protocol, some doctors try to go against it, but sometimes they will get a refusal from radiology. So
unless there's a specific reason that they saw in the mammogram to suggest you have an ultrasound.
Exactly,
okay.
And if that was the case with me, it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, so you've battled through this, you're okay now, and you decided to do something to give something back, because obviously having gone through breast cancer, you know what it's like, you know what other women go through. What are you doing?
What I'm doing is a 3-day retreat for breast cancer survivors or fighters that are not in treatment right now. They can come up there and take a break for 3 days. There will be culinary classes to help them cook quickly within 15 minutes preparation. They will each have an hour massage, 25 minutes of Reiki each. There will be some meditation. They will learn how to meditate, breathe, Tai Chi, yoga. There will also be nature walks and a great brunch on Sunday as well.
So basically a weekend to just get away from everything, get out there in nature. This is up north at the Great Chalet in St. Agathe.
Exactly.
And this is completely free.
Completely free.
Everybody who comes up, and you're going to bring how many women?
I am going to have 10 women come with me.
Okay, so you can either nominate yourself if you're listening to this as a breast cancer survivor thinking, wow, this sounds great, it's just what I need, or you can have someone nominate you. Maybe you're too shy, maybe you don't want to do this. If you're hearing this and you know someone who's gone through breast cancer, you can nominate them as well, and if they get selected, they'll be one of the 10 people to go up there for the weekend as well and get all this stuff in, from nature walks to spa to massages to everything else, all completely free. So having said that, how does someone kind of go ahead and enter this and decide they want to be part of this if they're lucky enough to be picked? What do they do? Where do they go?
There's a couple of ways of doing it. They could go to sunhillretreats with an S.com and go to the events section, and they can send me a message through there. If they have Facebook, they could just type in @sunhillretreats, and they can see the video that is on there and tag the person, or inbox me via email at thrive@sunhillretreats.com, or inbox me via messenger with Sunhill Retreats.
For people who don't know, because I didn't know what the Great Chalet was, we were just talking off air. This is a giant house up. What exactly is it? How many bedrooms did you say?
It used to be an auberge, B&B,
okay.
So now it is a vacation rental property and a retreat as well. So there's 11 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, overlooking Lac des Sables and St. Agathe, the beach.
And this is where you're going to spend the weekend?
That's where we're spending the weekend.
Okay. I will ask you just one other thing. I mean, the fact that you're doing this is wonderful. It's going to give some women, and you mentioned there was a gentleman who also was interested in coming up. He's a breast cancer survivor?
He got nominated by the hospital, yes.
Okay.
And there is some men that do get breast cancer. Unfortunately, men do get affected as well.
So the idea of doing this, when did this come to you? I mean, you're battling your own, breast cancer diagnosis, and it wasn't an easy one from everything I read in the letter that you sent me. When did you decide this would be the thing you wanted to do?
I decided this before all this even happened. When I got diagnosed with cancer, I wanted to go away, just be alone, focus, and get strong for my journey that's about to happen. and I booked on a Wednesday to leave on a Friday. I was going to go alone somewhere in the Caribbean. Wednesday I booked. Thursday I ended up at the emergency with a kidney stone. And Friday was when I was supposed to leave. I had to cancel my trip. And I thought, my goodness, that's scary. I would have been alone by myself dealing with this.
Right.
And I said this, and I couldn't find any retreat. When I was looking, I couldn't find anything that was good for me around here. It was all very yoga based.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, you know, it needs to change a little bit. There would be something nice for women like this to be able to go, you know, either, you know, people in treatment or out of treatment, somewhere where they could go away and they know they have the support around them.
Yeah, close by, not have to get on a plane to go somewhere.
Exactly. And that's, I kept thinking that throughout my entire treatment. How great would it have been?
All right. So you're making this available to these women, and I don't know, possibly to this man, whoever ends up coming up for the weekend. So far, what's been the reaction to the posting to your website and to Facebook?
Well, it's reached close to 10,000 people, the video. I've had about, you know, you have a great chance at winning. I have about 30 or 40 names right now. I haven't really counted them yet because I haven't looked at them, but, you know, they also have to qualify in order to come. They have to be able to have transport to get there, and they can't be sick right now because I'm not equipped for something like that.
Okay. So you need someone who's gone through this, who's now come out the other end and saying, you know what, I survived breast cancer, but it would be really nice to just get away for a couple of days by myself with these other group of women up there and just enjoy the country.
Exactly. Or before treatment. If they haven't gotten into treatment, they'd like to come and get that support of people that, you know, have been through it. That would be amazing for them.
You're going to have talks up there as well over the weekend, right? You're going to have not a lecture necessarily, but you're going to sit around with a bunch of people, all of you dealing with breast cancer, having dealt with breast cancer, to talk about this too?
They can choose to talk or not. I can't, you know, I will not enforce it on anybody, but it'll be a general thing of stress reduction, you know, like we will be talking about how to reduce your stress, how to, you know, take care of your body, your spirit, your mind, everything. And it is really a general thing. Now, if they want to talk in between themselves about anybody wants to volunteer, great. They'll know my story, that's for sure. Okay,
so again, it's a weekend. Should you be chosen as one of the 10 people, your weekend is basically completely paid for. That includes your food, your accommodation, and everything else that you're offering up, the spa services, the Reiki, and everything else. You're doing yoga as part of this?
Yeah, it's basic yoga, basic Tai Chi, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Again, so go to the website and do this on your own, because you really owe it to yourself if you have been dealing with breast cancer, or as I said, if you'd like to nominate someone who has come through this or is about to go into this, as you mentioned, that's worth pointing out again. Go on the website and check it out. It is Sun Hill Retreats, all one word, sunhillretreats.com. That's the website. Or if you go to Facebook, you can just go at Sun Hill Retreats, and you'll find it there under the event section. Well, I guess when you go online under the event section, you can enter there. And what's the deadline date-wise?
The deadline is October 31st. The winners will be announced November 1st, and the retreat is November 10th to 12th.
Up north.
Up north.
Catherine, so nice meeting you. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. Again, sunhillretreats.com, and should you be chosen as one of the 10 people, you'll find out November 1st. And the weekend, you said, is November 10th to 12th up north. What a beautiful time of the year to be up there and just have a weekend to yourself. All right, 6:45. Let's get you caught up on what's happening on the roads right now. Leslie Robinson at the CJAD 800 Traffic Center with a much better deal today than yesterday, huh, Les?